up YouTube? This is Joey from Third Duelist, and today I'm bringing you my Satellarknight deck profile. This deck's kind of fallen off a little bit in popularity with Cliff Force coming out and a lot of support for pretty much everything else, but with the new pack and getting the new Xyz, it should compete a little bit better with Burning Abyss and Shaddolls and things like that. But for right now, this is my list, and we'll just get started with the deck profile. Starting off, we have 3 Satellarknight Deneb. This is your Stratos of the deck, and you have to play 3. The only thing that kind of sucks is once you get, you wanted to open this card, which is the main reason why you play 3, but once you get one cycling, the others are just kind of dead, and you want to draw your traps, you don't want to keep drawing these. But you have to play 3 for consistency, and with Rhoda you have 6, so you should have access to this turn 1 almost every game. So 3 Deneb. Next we have his partner, the Altair. It's a Wolfbark. You're going to be searching this off Deneb most of the time. It's one of the best cards you can get most of the time. I mean, you don't want to draw it like any of your monsters because you want to just search them off Deneb. But the only bad thing about it is you can't attack with anything but the Satellarknights that turn, but you can easily work around that with things like Call of the Hunted. So 3 of him, you have to play 3. So next, I do this next part a little bit backwards. I play 3 Vega instead of 2 because Trevor is such a busted card. It's just really, really ridiculous, and you want to make him as much as possible. So 3 Vega I feel is necessary. A lot of people play 2 of this and 3 of Anukulhai, which is Foolish Burial, but basically Vega, you special another one from your hand when it's summoned, so it's really good. And like I said, I like 3. That's more of just a personal choice, but I feel like it's best because Trevor's such a good card. Next, like I said, I do this a little backwards. 2 Anukulhai. Anukulhai, Foolish Burial is your Deneb most of the time. It's a really good card, but you don't want to be seeing it late game like a lot of your other things, and it's the least powerful, the ones that you actually play, so I only play 2, but that's again just a personal choice. You could easily play 3 of this and 2 Vega, but I prefer to play the other way around. And the final Satellarknight, I'm playing 1 Sirius. This is also kind of a tech choice. It's Pot of Avarice, and when you run through your resources so quickly in this deck, you want to be able to put them back, and you have Emerald for that, but my Emerald something always happens to my Emerald before I can get it off, so I like playing this because I only like 1, because I mean you can get it whenever you want, like late game you can just search it off to Neb, refuel your whole deck. So the 1 Sirius I like. It's probably not the most meta choice in the world, but I like it. And then the final monsters I play are 2 Honest, because it's a 2 now, thanks to this next list, which didn't really like at all, but that's a topic for another time. But 2 Honest, I mean, it's honest. Don't feel explanation necessary. That's it for the monsters. Move on to the spells. Have 3 Reinforcement of the Army, because you're playing a warrior deck, and searching cards is good, so 3 Rhoda. Next, 3 MST, especially important in this format with Cliff Forts and Burning Abyss being the 2 best decks. You absolutely have to have 3 against Cliff Forts and Burning Abyss. I don't like dealing with Fire Lake and their other stupid cards, so 3 MST, I feel like it's necessary this format. Next on to the 1-ofs. Thanks to the new list, we have Snatch Steel back, which is really, really stupid, but I'm going to play it since it's back. This card's really busted. I don't care what anyone says. I'm gonna play it and everything. So 1 Snatch Steel, 1 Soul Charge, because Soul Charge. That's it. Raigeki, just clear boards. Dark Hole went to 2, but I'm probably not gonna be playing Dark Hole just because it's not that good. But Raigeki is a better Dark Hole, and I like it. So 1 Raigeki. And the final spell is Book of Moon. Book is something I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Book. Some of the time I hate it, and some of the time I love it. I can't really make up my mind on it. But right now I like Book, and it's basically your 17th trap. It's pretty much a trap card, and it gets around trap stunts. So that's really good. Onto the traps, which we play a lot of because we're playing Satellarknights. We have 3 Solemn Judgment, or Salvanova Alpha. Love this card. It's not really a fair card at all. even if you didn't get, like, when I first read this card, and it was like, okay, you get a negate by tributing monsters. Like, okay, that's pretty fair. And then you get a draw card, which that's really ridiculous. You have to play 3 of this. It's one of the best cards in the deck. Next, we have 3 called the Hunted. All your stuff gets their effects when they're summoned, so why not get more effects? I mean, Call of the Haunted's really good in this deck, especially when you can Call of the Haunted and bring back like Altairs and get Denebs off those and generate so much advantage. So Call of the Haunted's really good. Next, 3 breakthrough skill. Don't like monster effects. Wind is a problem. Even though shit-alls really don't go to wind a whole lot anymore. It's mostly construct and OTKs and things like that. But Breakthrough is just a really good card in general. I like it over Fiendish Chain, and since you're playing so many traps in here, you have room, and Breakthrough skill is a card that I just like to play. Next, we have 3D Prison. It's really good because you don't want to destroy anything. It targets, but I mean, that doesn't really matter a whole lot. It's just the best battle trap for me, and I like 3 because no one expects this card anymore, it seems like. No one expects battle traps because all the destruction of back row going around because cliff forts are a thing and you want to get rid of their skill drains and things like that. But I like D Prison personally because no one expects it, and when you banish like their construct or banish their Dante, it hurts them a lot. So I like the 3D prisons. It's not something you have to play, but it's something I like. Now we have some 1-up traps. We just have the Bottomless, Compulse, Warning, and Torrential. Just your basic staples. I'm going to play these in everything that plays traps. It's just the way I like to play the game. So that's it for the main deck. 40 cards, of course. On to the extra, we have 2 Trevere. Trevere is a busted card. A non-target bounce everything. Breaks almost all boards. There's very few. I rarely ever lose a game where this card's effect resolves. And then when you're not playing Burning Abyss and things like that, you can discard stuff from your opponent's hand, which is always good. Generates a lot of advantage. So if you get this card's effect to resolve, you're not going to lose very many games. So that's Trevere. And I'm playing 2 Deltaros. I've seen a lot of people cutting this down to 1, and I kind of understand where they're coming from. But when you think about it, this is still pretty much a Draco sack. You detach to pop a card, and then when it dies, it pays for itself. So I really like Deltaros, and I find myself making it a lot more than people expect. Like, people forget about this card a lot. They'll be expecting Trevere, and some of the time, this is the better play. You can just bring it out, pop a card, and then usually you're going to be using an Altair, so you can still attack with this because it's a Stellarknight. And this card can still attack, so you can pop a back row and swing over their stuff, and it's still really good. So I like 2. You don't always make 2. Like, sometimes you'll make 2 Trevor, and most of the time you only make 1 of these. But I like having the second one just in case because it's still a really good card. So that's all for the Stellarknight XCs. Like 1 Castel because it's probably the best rank 4 right now in my opinion. It's just generic. 1/101, same concept as Castel. It's just a really good card. You have to play it. It's your generic 4s. So, forwarded. Dagusto Emerald. Originally, I didn't even like this card until before this deck came out, I hated this card. I never understood why people played it. And then I realized that managing resources is so important, and this resets your deck pretty much. Put all your Altairs back in, search them with their depth, things like that. So this card's super important. You have to play it. Next, Abyss Dweller. A lot of graveyard effects this format. It's kind of weak, 17, which sucks, but it's still a really good card. And I kind of have to play it too. Exciton. I don't find myself making it a whole lot in here because you're going to have a lot of advantage in this deck, but I can't bring myself to cut it because I know as soon as I do, I'm going to need it. So the Exciton's in here. Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. I really like this card. Anything that can make 4s, I think should play this just because it beats over everything. That's basically it. It's one of my favorite cards from the last set. Have Cowboy, because Cowboy for game. Excalibur, we're playing Warriors. Also beats over pretty much everything, so that's always nice to have the option. Karn Gorgon. This is a card I find myself making a lot when I don't really need to make a Castell or a 101 to bring something back, to blow something back or things like that. This is a card I find myself making just when I don't need to make anything else, and it's really good. You can activate it twice in the same chain, which is really stupid. And this card just, it puts in work, and I really like it. We have one Star Liege because we're playing lights. It's a really good card. And finally we have the Constellar Omega because we're playing lights. So that's it for the deck profile. I hope you guys liked it. It's a really fun deck, and it's actually gone down in price a lot. So if you like this video, leave a comment, like, subscribe. Thanks for watching.